pivot to a different topic, and one that does seem to come up quite a bit in discussion. In fact, I don't think we can have any discussion without talking about Gen AI, right? And probably anything that we say, during this discussion will obviously be obsolete by the end of it. We'll have to say, oh wait, something else has changed. There's a new platform out. But for the next couple of minutes, yeah, we'd love to hear, what you're seeing in terms of institution, in the education space, Gen AI. I think a lot of the initial reaction was fear. And oh, wait, no, students are going to use this to cheat. Well, it's now, woven into everyone's daily lives. So what are you seeing? How are you advising institutions and organizations on it? And yeah, where do you think the future is?
Yeah, I was checking the clock to see. It took us 20 minutes to get to the Gen AI topic. We haven't said the word pandemic yet, but 20 minutes to get to Gen AI. I'm pro AI, but I also am a very practical leader, and I feel like there's a lot of not only fear, but there's also hype around how AI is going to revolutionize things. And no doubt, AI will revolutionize things in our lifetime. But AI, our tools and products, long before ChatGPT was a household name. We've been prompted in our Google Docs for years, right, with suggestions of the next word that we want to use. I mean, that's all AI ML based. So I believe in the short term, we're going to continue to see AI as a feature in the tools we use. So the tools that we use and interact with every day will get a little bit smarter based on the ability to process these large amounts of data and anticipate our needs. I think future-focused product organizations are going to continue to offload processes that can be done more efficiently by machines. So that spills in operationally. I mean, I think all organizations need to think about where they have processes that simply struggle to scale when you're relying on manual handling. So these are the processes that I think are going to be reimagined using Gen AI. In K-20, that could be administrative functions, or it could be nudges, or career and skill matching, right? There are lots of different areas that don't need a human to do the lift. But then the benefit of that is when we offload the processing in that way, that allows the humans to focus on where they actually should be in the value chain supporting other humans. Right. So it's similar to, I feel like a decade ago, this was the conversation about the LMS, like would it revolutionize teaching? No, it helped to offload some of the processes that faculty members got stuck in and allowed them to be more available, for instance, right? So I think that that's what we're going to see with AI, is it's going to offload some of that processing that today is manual, so that the humans can interact with the humans in a better way.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very positive view and realistic, right? So there is a hype, and it's something that we need to be aware of. Certainly the downsides, the negatives of it, but I know, for our team, we've woven it throughout our internal processes, operational processes, and certainly from platform perspective as well. Do you? From an academic perspective, I don't know if, do you get involved in any of those discussions? Are your clients concerned about, the students using it or the staff using it?
Yeah, students, we don't get so much involved in the faculty to student sort of tangle of how folks might use it. Although I'm very interested in that conversation that's going on. And so I tend to read all the articles that I see about that. And I think that will get to a healthy place where faculty are able to find ways to use it as a tool. I'm a broken record on my graphing calculator, right? I can hand my 5-year-old a graphing calculator. He can't do calculus, right? Right. So you have to sort of understand how to use the tool. And I think that there are ways that faculty will find to integrate those tools inside of courseware, so that, again, we're offloading some of the things that don't necessarily need the thought, or we're creating writing buddies, or we're creating other kinds of supports using the AI for first drafts, for papers, those kinds of things. I think they'll find ways to do that. I mean, faculty are smart, right? They'll find ways to utilize those tools inside of their work, so that that becomes less of a conversation about, is it a cheat or not a cheat? In terms of staff, definitely in the context of implementing new systems, definitely in the context of, we have a big identity and access management practice. So the conversation can come up around what could we be doing to help with functions and grouping and things inside of our identity platforms in order to make use of these features. I still think it's a lot more conversation than it is implementation at this stage. So a lot of interest, but not a lot of active implementation. But I expect that to change in the next few years as people just sort of get used to, we just use this as part of our internal process or part of our product feature. It's just something that becomes another tool that we can use.
Right. No, I think that's great. And I do see some very strong positives in terms of the a further push for authentic assessment. So multiple choice, or that's not going to cut it anymore, right? So so how can we have the students prove their knowledge or skills but then how do we scale that, right? Because part of the challenge of that, and again, that's where GenAI can help, and in terms of the one-on-one tutoring, training. But it is an exciting opportunity, but certainly something that's that we all have to keep our eye on and look at what are the latest developments and where do we go from here. So
get out our crystal ball.
Yes, and I think we'll probably have to record another session later and then splice it in here so that you can say, and of course this is happening.
Exactly. So, yes. I know. I mean, last Friday we had a big boom in the world of OpenAI. So yes, it's changing so quickly. Yeah,
brilliant.